Hey guys, it's Ashani Mfuko here with my girl, Stacey Sargent. She is a triple threat. That's right, singer, actress, dancer, fabulous. But also she's a filmmaker, and she created the film, award-winning film, Though I'm Not Perfect. And it's a great film. It touches on the issues that us dancers really deal with when we're dealing with our body image issues. And it's a great film, and I'm so happy to have you on the show.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank
Welcome
you.
to the show.
Thank you.
I have to just tell you guys, like, the way that you found out about the show, or the way that we connected, is so crazy. Stacey was watching the show, flicking through the channels, and just happened to come across the show. How crazy is that? And she just decided she's going to email me.
Absolutely, because you're fabulous.
Oh, Stacey, stop, Stacey, seriously. But I'm so glad that you did, because once I looked up your information and learned more about you, I said, I need to meet this woman. I need to really meet her. So tell us a little bit about your story, how when you were growing up, you know, your teachers and people that you looked up to were telling you do not have the ideal body type for a dancer. Tell us about that.
My parents put me in ballet classes when I was 3. And the school that I was attending had a children's program, a children's company rather, and I wanted nothing more than to be in this company. And when I was 9, the artistic director of the school, who was my favorite teacher, called my mom and I in for a meeting and went on and on and on about how talented I was, but said that I was too fat and I needed to lose weight. And this was a revelation to me, because I just danced because I loved it, and I wasn't thinking about what my body was looking like in relation to being too fat. And so she suggested the cabbage soup diet, which was cabbage soup for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 4 days straight, and then a very restricted diet after that. I don't remember how many months, but it was a pretty long time.
Oh my gosh.
And I lost weight, and she never said anything to me. She never acknowledged that I lost any weight. She never said anything about being in her company. I was devastated. And I decided that I wasn't gonna go back to that school anymore. And then through my academic school, there was a dance program in that school, and one of the teachers there taught at another well-known school, and I auditioned and got in, and they put me in the beginner class. After I had been on point for 2 years.
Wow.
And when my mom inquired as to why they did that, they said that I was too fat. So they moved me up to the highest level class in the Saturday program until I lost weight, and then they gave me a scholarship, and then I started training again 5 days a week. But the thought was still with me, no matter how small I got. I always felt too fat. And there were opportunities that that came to this particular school that had nothing to do with dance, that had to do with the Met or television shows at that time, The Cosby Show, and I was always overlooked. And there were always comments about, I'll tell you one particular story. One of my teachers, I had lost weight. My weight just fluctuated because I would go through these periods of deprivation, and then when I got tired and sick of it, I would,
you were like, ooh, I'm eating everything.
Exactly. So at one of my lower weights, I was trying on a ballet skirt for a recital, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, just unsatisfied with what I was seeing, and one of my teachers saw that, and she said, well, it's good that you're not satisfied. That means you'll lose more weight.
Oh my God, this is devastating for a young dancer.
Yes, I think at that age, I was probably 14 or 15, and you know, a lot of people ask me, well, where were your parents in all of this? And there was so much shame that I was carrying. I never told my parents these stories when my teachers would say certain things to me, because I knew that they would pull me out of the school right away.
And you wanted to keep dancing.
And I wanted to dance. Fast forward to high school, I ended up going to High School of Performing Arts for voice. I played piano. In my senior year of high school, I started hanging around with a lot of the drama majors, and I was like, oh my God, I want to act. This is it. So I auditioned for musical theater programs because I had no acting training, but I knew how to dance and sing, and ended up going to Syracuse University, and came out and got my equity card a week before I graduated, actually.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been a performer, actress, singer, dancer since.
Ever since. You've been on television and films. I mean, you've traveled all over the world. So it's kind of like, okay, apparently those teachers from back in the day, it's like you didn't know what you were talking about because you've been so successful. So what I love is that you didn't say, okay, well, I showed them. You know, now I'm successful. They were wrong. I was right. Now I'm moving on. You said, wait a second. There are still young girls that are dealing with this every single day in the dance studios, in the schools, you know, and they need someone to help them and to encourage them, which is why you created the Though I'm Not Perfect film. So talk to us about the Though I'm Not Perfect film.
Well, how I got the idea came to me. I was doing Damn Yankees at City Center in New York, starring Jane Krakowski and Sean Hayes, and I was having lunch outside with one of my cast members, and we were talking about how we got into the industry. And while I'm telling her my story, I look up and I'm looking at Carnegie Hall, which is where the studio that I first started training at was housed in.
Right.
And I said to myself, I said, oh my God, had I listened to these people, I would literally not be where I'm standing today. And I said, I need to tell this story because we give away so much of our power as kids to our teachers. We want nothing more than to please them, and they have the key to our dreams. And even though I was telling myself I'm to this, I'm to that, and I was not good enough, that was what I believed, but there was also, I don't know what you want to call it, but this inner knowing, this inner drive that I had, because I knew at a very early age what I wanted to do.
Right.
And even though I did not become a ballerina, I'm actually happy that happened, that all of these things happened, because now I'm a dancer, a singer, and an actress, and now a filmmaker. And I think that my experience has only enriched my life, and it's made me a better actress, actually, I think.
Because you have a lot to tap into and pull from.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to share this story so that, like you said, there's so much shame involved with it. So a lot of young dancers, they won't talk to their parents, they won't talk to their family about it. They just talk to their friends who are probably in the same situation.
And sometimes not.
Or even maybe they don't because they're so self-conscious.
It's very internalized. I mean, at least for me, I can speak for myself. Actually, when I came out with the film, one of my best friends who I trained with called me and said, I had no idea that you were going through this. And I think we're all very different. And I mean, the one thing that I can say that has helped to get me on the healing path is really becoming conscious of my thoughts, what I tell myself.
Yes.
Once I became aware of the negative dialogue that I was having with myself, I said, wait a minute, I can press pause and say, is this really true?
Right.
And just really start to analyze what I'm saying to myself about myself.
Right. And you don't have to believe what other people are saying to you about yourself. You can change that.
And that's the thing, is when you're young, you believe the grown-ups.
Right.
But what I would like to encourage is to start getting kids to ask questions.
Yeah.
And say, well, why? Why are you telling me this? Or is this really true? And investigate.